Hi, this is Terry Gibbs. If you've been paying attention, every Tuesday night I put up a video about eBay or buying toy trains, antiques, and collectibles and stuff. I wrote these books on, this is my first book from 1999, How to Get a Constant Stream of People to Sell You Their Old Toy Trains. We're going to talk about buying things tonight. I'm working on updating this. Should have it done by September of 2025. But until then, you can watch the videos or you can get these two books, which are available on Amazon, How to Write eBay Descriptions That Sell. And this one is How to Sell Antiques and Collectibles on eBay. Both books are in the $8 to $12 range. I think this is $12. The smaller one is $8. But anyway, tonight, I'm going to talk to you about a strategy, how to buy cool trains. All right, this is a cool train. See this? This is about 1910, maybe 1911. It's a Lionel Trolley. It's got one motor on it. It's called a 3 trolley. And the story with this is I was talking to a friend of mine on the phone, and while I was talking to him, I was looking at eBay and I saw this trolley because I have searches for Lionel stuff on there that I've saved for decades. I'm gonna put the phone down, but maybe I'll keep it because it looks cool. Here. So for decades, since the beginnings of eBay, I've had these searches and I'm talking to my friend on the phone and I click and I go, ooh, and here's this trolley. And I tell my friend, hold on. And I set it down. I looked over the trolley. And now this has been where this black step is. It's supposed to be the maroon color. But, you know, this is 114 years old. So you take what you can get with these. But anyway, I bought the thing, paid for it with the credit card, which that gives me some protections, right? And then I went back to talking to my friend. And that's just something that anybody can do. If you got some extra time, look at some of your bookmark searches on eBay, oriented by listed most recently, and that'll bring up the buy it now. It's like this thing, right? But the real secret that I'm going to tell you now is that when it came in, let's get this phone out of here. That when it came in, I looked it over and I was, oh, I'm happy. It is just great. Somebody's rewired it, but this is a wonderful example of a very nice trolley, right? This was like Lionel's 4th largest trolley. Was not cheap. Anyway, so when I got this, right, I got my phone. I got another phone here. This one's older than the other one. And I called the seller on the phone, right? And I called him up and I said, hey, I got the trolley. It's wonderful. And that's important because the first thing you say is that it's wonderful, you're happy, because a lot of times when buyers call sellers, they're calling to complain, chisel some money out of them, something like that. I don't want the seller to think that. I want him to know that I am happy, right? So I tell him, I'm really happy with this. Do you have anything else? Because he has that. I know he had something I wanted. The question is, does he have anything else? Now, I didn't use this old phone. I used a cell phone. And he said, yes. And he said he'd text me some pictures. So he texted me some pictures of a train that looked like this. Right here, this is a Lionel 5 or 5 Special 51 loco. This is about 1912. The passenger car or day coach is a little bit later, maybe 1915. And he had one of these, but it had been painted on. And I don't collect anything repainted. And I was like, okay, I don't want that. And he'd also sent me this large picture of a control panel for the trains, lots of switches and stuff. And I was looking at that and I said, can you send me a picture of that thing right there in the middle? And he did. And it was this. All right, you see this? This is Lionel's. It's actually their second Transformer. It's from 1911, right? And this version is 1913. The first version only had 6 contacts up here. This one has 8. And in 1913, they put a plug on it. Prior to 1913, there was just 2 binding posts down here for the wall current. So that would be 110 volts there. But this was Lionel's first or second transformer that they made. Earlier than that, they had a alternating current reducer. But this was on the control panel that he had to run the trains. And I told him I'd like to have it, and he sent it to me for free. Now, you could just put this in one of those medium flat rate boxes that's like $14 eBay shipping, and he sent it to me. And this was really cool. And I got this for free just because I called the guy up on the phone and asked him if he had anything else. Right? And then I was telling a friend of mine at the show a couple weeks later about that, and the guy says, "Oh, I saw one of them cast iron transformers over there." And that's this one. This is the Lionel K Transformer, right? And this is all cast iron. That one's slate and sheet metal. This is cast iron with a slate top. This is from 1914, and it has a interesting little plug on it and all that. But I found this just because I was telling somebody the story, and I got that. So that's that's a secondary tip for buying trains, is if you're exuberant, people will go, "Hey, I know what that is." And you can find extra stuff. But anyway, that's a really quick example of how to find additional trains and toys and collectibles. Is if you find somebody that has something you want, chances are he has more. These phones that I got, right here, this is a cool phone. This is from the early 20s, right? By the late 20s, this went shorter, and it became this thing with its own handle with the headset and the mouthpiece all in one piece. With these all came from one guy, right? I went in, I bought all of them for $10 each, and I even got the big wall crank one and all that, just because he was cleaning out some trains and I bought them. But if you ask, you go in, you ask people, "You got anything more? What else you got?" So there's 3 quick tips, or 4, on how to find antiques and collectibles. You could share some of your finds with us in the comments. Thanks for watching.